So I'm off mudlarking with Nicola White and with Sifinds. This is our Christmas hunt. Now apparently I was going to be Santa Claus, but I couldn't grow the beard in time. Nicola was going to be the tree fairy. She'll always be the tree fairy to me. And Sci-Fi was going to be my little helping elf. He's a little bit too tall for an elf, but never mind. So we scrubbed that idea. We're just going to go down and see if we can find some good stuff. Now, it looks like it's going to rain. Oh, please don't rain, because that will be rain stop play, at least for me anyway. But we will find out. Those boots are made for mudlarking, and that's just what they'll do. I recognise those boots. Hello. Oh, tinsels. As I said earlier, Nicola is the fairy on the top of the Christmas tree.
My halo on. Oh look, it's Father Christmas down at the Thames.
Ho ho.
Hello, Father Christmas.
Ho ho.
Actually, Nicola, his name's Pierre Cardin. He says so on his jacket.
Oh, yeah, that is my name. Oh, no advertising, please.
Is Pierre Cardin as Santa's elf?
Let's hope this gets some lovely presents down the foreshore today for Christmas time.
I'll put them out there.
Oh, good.
Well, Pierre is all tinsel up now. So you try keeping that on the whole day. Now, apparently, there's 0% chance of rain today in London, and it's already raining.
Yeah, I can see it. Hopefully, we won't get too wet.
You're on fire and they missed you.
I'm not on fire yet, we've still got to find the goodies.
So this is the stairs up to the stairs down. So there goes Santa's elf. He's broken it. After all 100 years, he's busted it. And Nicola's going through.
Hey, gentlemen, with us. Come with us.
If you want to mudlark. So I'm going to do the death-defying going down the stairs now. And these are the stairs of doom. Very, very slippery, very, very dodgy. So I'm going to turn the camera off to get down there. Well, this is quite interesting. Not for the immediate reason. This is a boot, probably. At least a shoe. I should think that's quite old. Ladies shoe? It'd have to be, wouldn't it? She had a big feet. But the interesting thing is, look at all those copper nails. And of course, in time, when this rots away, there'll be a load of copper nails will be in the river. I'm thinking that's pre-First World War, but it might be not that old. I don't think they put nice copper nails in the bottom of shoes these days. Not that I'm a cobbler. I might be speaking cobblers, but I would be guessing they don't put copper nails like that in modern shoes. And of course, in mud, this stuff doesn't rot very fast. Interesting. Being a lady, I guess that Nicola is probably a bit more of an expert on shoes.
I don't know, it's hard to tell. It's quite a large shoe.
Yes, that's what I thought. But I thought
more.
the front's come off, hasn't it? I guess.
Could be either.
I think the front's come off, but the
I love the nails there.
copper nails, I think, are suggestive of old, certainly of expensive. Is that? Yeah. I don't think many people get down here in their business shoes these days, and certainly don't lose them. There's no deep mud to lose them here. Old shoe with copper nails, to be found as separate copper nails in a few hundred years.
Beautiful shoe, beautiful.
I've got to say, treasure hunters like myself and Nicola are incorrigible. You know, you'll find a rotten old shoe like that and you go, it's beautiful. We just can't help ourselves, we just can't. Now, all mudlarks have their own techniques, and I wouldn't be seen dead at the top of a foreshore. But Nicola gets a lot of our good stuff up there.
I found an interesting piece of what looks like worked bone.
Really? I'm going to come and have a look.
You see, it's interesting. It's sort of sliced. It's round. It's a piece of bone. It looks like it might have had a purpose.
That's a fascia on something. That's definitely a fascia. So that's sat over something like a picture. Or a watch face, even. Hold on a minute. Let me find out what this really is test. It's plastic. That's plastic. Now, boys.
It's not bone, it's plastic.
Yeah.
Oh now, dear. Okay.
Now, boys and girls, here's a bit of occult knowledge for you. If you want to know what an object is, all you got to do is tap it on your teeth. And your teeth will tell you what material it is. In this case, it tells me that this is plastic. Now, you might not believe me, but just try it. You can do it with stone, glass, plastic, gemstones, metals, you name it. Because your teeth have got nerves that go straight into your brain, and their job is to say, don't bite too hard on that and smash me, you idiot. That's something nasty or hard. So your teeth are very, very good at knowing what you are. Good grief. They're chasing me again. So anyway, your teeth are very, very good at knowing what they're touching, like bones, like all sorts of things, or even grit that you might get in your cereal. So, in summary, apart from the fact that the police haven't found me yet, if you want to know what you found, just tap it on your teeth and it'll tell you whether it's plastic or bone, and in this case, this is plastic. Which is not surprising because it's light and therefore it's high and therefore it's by the wall, which is why I don't go there. But my earlier point I was trying to make was there's no right place to go. There's only places to look. And sometimes you find something wonderful and sometimes you don't, and sometimes you find it in the most strange places. Well, it's not treasure, but it's quite interesting. See these huge oysters here. And of course back in the day, there wasn't oyster farming per se, not like we'd know it today. So these are the sort of sizes you would have got a long time ago. Gigantic oysters. Give you an idea of the size. And here you have a nest of them. A nest of very large oysters that someone must have dumped at some point. Now you won't find these oysters on any restaurant menu, not of that size, because they'd be way too old, probably 10 years old, and they harvest them about 5 these days. Do you want a little bit of occult knowledge, mudlarking knowledge?
Yes, please.
Okay, although it's not universally true, when you see that, that is somebody, that's another mudlark who's found a good patch, and he's marking it so he can come back to it. So if you had a metal detector, you would then metal detect right around that, and you might find some good stuff. So what have you got there, Simon?
So yeah, what do you make of that?
Ooh, that's interesting and a bit odd. So that is a button. Is that a silver button?
Pewter probably, I'd imagine.
And it's stuck to a rock by, I guess there was some iron on the back of it, and it's corroded and congealed or something like that. And it's looking like P for something on it and a crown. So you're saying you reckon it's a police button?
Possibly, because it's got the similar kind of starburst that I've seen on the Metropolitan badge, police badge. So could be a police badge, I think.
Was that when you were arrested? So yeah, that is lovely find, lovely find, and of course you've got the advantage having the detector.
Exactly. Well,
so what detector is that?
This is a Fisher Gold Bug.
Okay, cool, with a little sniper coil.
Yeah, a little 5-inch coil. It's good because it's like a high frequency, so it's really fast at getting in between the targets. So you'll have a bit of iron next to, you know, non-ferrous bit of metal, and it can differentiate very quickly between the iron and copper. Iron, very fast recovery. Yeah, so this is what you need.
And just what got you that, probably?
Well, I detected it, and then I looked down, and it was sitting there like that. So if you had your beady eye on you, but with the help of the detector, yeah, that's what.
It's your third eye. That's what I think of them as. That is a third eye because you can't see everything, and you're looking, and the detector goes bleep. So you look there, and there it is. Well done, brilliant. You find oysters like the ones that I found, often with holes in the middle, and no one quite knows why. Now, there's many schools of thought about them. My theory is that you just take a chisel and hammer and break that part of the shell, because that's where the muscle's attached. Take the top off, just cut off that little bit of shell, and then you go and eat the oyster, because you didn't want to go stabbing yourself with a knife in those days, because you know that might be your lot. Get a little bit of blood poisoning, you're dead back then. So that would be a safer way of opening oyster shells. Now that's just my crazy theory, and that's one of a number. And Si has his own theory, which I think is rather amusing, completely wrong of course, but I think it's very interesting. So he's going to tell you what his theory is coming up now.
My theory is, because the oyster shells have got a square hole, a round hole, random sized holes, and they're usually about that sort of size, about 1 centimetre big, varying. What they do now, still with the Far East, and what they did back in those days, is they farmed the oysters and they put them on a rope, loads of them on a rope, and then put them in racks in places like the Thames Estuary and other places up and down the Thames where you had a lot of fresh water, a lot of salt water, and that attracted other oysters so they could farm them.
So oysters that had already been eaten would have these holes punched in them, and they'd be put on string to attract other oysters.
Correct, yeah. And then because obviously the nation or the London needed feeding, this was a better way of, rather than just going out randomly and picking them up, they obviously farmed them, and then they could feed the population quicker. So that's why we find so many with holes in, my theory. The other theory, which a lot of people like, is that they made buttons from these oyster shells. So, but then that kind of begs the question, why did they just use them once with one hole? If they had an oyster there and they were grinding out buttons, why not make 3 or 4 buttons from the one shell? You know, there's another argument that...
Which they do from abalone.
Yeah, well,
when they do abalone buttons, they do make multiple buttons from the same shell.
Exactly. So it was done. They did make buttons, oyster buttons. You find them. So they do make mother of pearl buttons. So it's definitely they were used for that. Another theory would be that they were probably maybe used as currency to cross the river. Another one. So say you've used an oyster shell. I don't know what. You know, yours with the hole in, a perfectly square hole, could be your ticket to Rome.
No, you're getting confused with an oyster card, not an oyster button.
That's where they got the name from. So.
My theory is that in August, on the Feast of the Oyster, there's an Oyster Day in August, and in the 18th century, I think it was, children used to build grottos with oysters. And then they used to sit in their grotto with their hands out the door asking for money for the grotto. And my theory is that the little holes were made by the children to attach the grotto together.
Can you believe that? I just think it's an easy way of opening oysters. Before you know it, it'll be about launching rockets to the moon. Well, I have no idea what that is. It's a piece of pottery with a nice pattern on it. Looks like it's snapped off here. And I don't know whether it's old or new. Well, it's unlikely to be new, isn't it? But I'm thinking it's old. That's white glaze over raw pottery, and it's snapped off here. So it'd be sort of like a handle or something. So I have no idea what that is. But that's a thing, and it's an old thing, so it's going in the pocket. Actually, Nicola's come along, she might know, and Simon is also an encyclopedia of bits and bobs, will also might know what this is. So there you go, guys and girls. Here's your opportunity to tell me what that is.
I think it's tin glaze for a start.
Yeah, that'd be the white.
Yeah. I think it's off a little mannequin or porcelain doll, perhaps. What do you think?
Could be
maybe a handle.
Could be a handle for something.
I think it's a handle, but it's kind of for what?
Yeah, a little handle for the top of a pot, perhaps.
Yeah, pot top could be, but it's also a bit of an odd shape for that as well.
Well, look, it sort of scrolls there, doesn't it, at the bottom? So
yeah.
It could be the base of a handle that went upwards and over. So that bit
that
would have been applied to the thing, and that was, yeah.
You're good with handles. I remember you spotted that handle that I found in that field. You said, that's a handle for a teapot.
Yeah.
I knew it. Cool. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, so I think that's the base.
Yeah, that's the base of a handle.
That would have gone up and around and...
There we are. I knew they'd know. And that's where it would have... No, that isn't where it would have gone in, because that would have been stuck on the back of something. So it wouldn't have been glazed before it was stuck on the back. So if it was stuck on the back, there wouldn't be glaze on it. Ta-da! Sherlock, have another go. You see what I'm saying? The back of that would have been pressed against the pot,
yeah.
And therefore, before the glaze would have gone on. So that would not have glaze on it, if that was your theory was correct, which was a very good theory.
Then this is the top. This is a little mini handle, and that would have been applied to the top of the bowl as a little makeshift hand.
Yeah.
Kind of handle.
Like a lip cup.
Exactly, yeah, like a handle around that way around.
I think it's a fossilised croissant. A mini fossilised croissant.
And that is the white sugar glaze.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Hold on a minute. No, a teeth test says not sugar. But it's good. Thank you very much for your input. So anyway, we don't really know. I think Simon's called some massive machine of destruction to kill me or something. What's going on now?
Helicopter.
It's a very funny noise for a helicopter. Very fat helicopter. Anyway, it's stopped now. I can talk again. So I think, yeah, a knob on the top of something, like a rim of a cup. I think that is a strong possibility. Good go.
Teeny tiny handle.
Yeah.
To go on the top of
on either side of a cup, you know, like that.
Exactly.
Like that.
Very interesting.
Thank you very much.
Not hints of sarcasm.
Now, I really love these parts of the river where old trees are coming up through the mud because of erosion. And that would be basically an ancient forest. So I don't think there was any trees and bushes down here in the last few hundred years. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Certainly down the bankside there wasn't. And this is another example of history being revealed and very soon lost, I should think.
I found a coin here. It might be a dime or something. Let's have a look. It might be a foreign coin. Maybe Chill Bill will know, because he's very good on coins. I'll ask him. What do you think?
That's a coin. It's looking like a 5 centime French, but maybe not.
I'll just give it a little
Can't really see it.
shortly and have a look.
Could be a stinking Lincoln, but I don't think it's one of them either. But it's probably a clad American. So copper on zinc. That would be my wild guess. But of course, I actually think it's ancient in gold. It just needs a little bit of a wipe.
Well, it would be great if it was ancient and gold.
No chance. Sorry.
Watch your tight times, guys. You don't want to get cut off.
Fortunately, it's going down, not up. Okay, this is the moment of excitement when Si finds something worth finding.
What is that?
It's a lump of copper. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. That is a plaque. That is a plaque, and it's got writing on it. Oh, it's one. Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic Si find.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It's an Indian offering.
Is it really? I thought it might be an urn
no.
thing.
Oh no. Oh, sorry. Does that word say felony? Sentence. Oh my gosh. That says felony and sentence 64, 10 years.
What?
It says this is like saying 736 Mary A somebody or other something 10 years felony service. So this is something to do with that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh my goodness.
It's actually handwritten, hand engraved, hand scratched in there.
Read it out, come on, Si, it's your find.
Can I give it a quick wash so I can see what it says clearly? Okay.
Gosh.
Let's lose these gloves because they just get in the bloody way.
You go down there while I try to find the rest. He likes his finds clean, this man. I was joking because it's all scriggly writing. I thought it's another one of your Indian offerings.
736 Mary Franklin, aged 10 years old, felony, 7 years, Banbury, forget me not, on the other side. Oh, it's got a date on.
2019.
Well, it's something 22, either a 7.
1722.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I think it's relatively modern, but I've never seen one like that.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that's modern. Let me have a look. Let me see if I can get that date off it. Because a 10-year-old might have been deported to the colonies, right? So 10-year-old gets done for nicking a chicken or whatever. They pack her off to Australia. Go down under, mate, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So the family has chucked that in where she got deported from.
Transported?
Transported, yeah. Transported.
And also, as Nick has described before, in the prison hulks, obviously children were in the prison hulks as well, weren't they?
No, that. Where's the date? At the bottom.
It's right at the bottom. On the other side it says "Forget Me Not," and then there's a little date scribbled at the bottom. It's got, I think it's something 7, so it could be anything. 1907, 2007. Although I can't imagine that someone in 2007 going to that much effort of engraving a.
1844.
Wow, really? 1844?
Well, that's what I'm reading, but you know, I've got mole light vision, but it looked like 1844 to me.
Well,
it's right down the end there.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, put it back. Go back. I can see it at that angle. Tilt it a bit. Tilt it. Yeah, 1844. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is a real piece of amazing history.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Mary
A.
Franklin, felony. God, that's incredible. I could look that up on.
Yeah, that'd be there, wouldn't it?
Well, we'll definitely do some research on that. But it's a crude bit of copper, isn't it? It's almost like
7.
Well, it's hacked copper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a crude piece of copper.
It might even be a hammered penny, hammered out a coin, you know.
Oh, that's incredible.
Have a look.
That'd be a cartwheel.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
Look, well, you can see it's been cut out of a sheet.
That's a beautiful.
How sweet is that?
Yeah.
Totally sweet. That's an amazing find. That's my best find so far.
It's going in your pocket.
1844. I use my elf to do my searching for me. You know how I like other people to do all the hard work.
So we're your little helpers today, are we?
Maybe not so little. Simon, that's an awesome find. Congratulations. That is just the most amazing thing.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. What a superb.
Yeah, nothing major, but the coins are coming up. Mostly modern in this area. Probably get a lot thrown over the side, over there, because where they're getting on the old clipper, people decide to throw some change in for, I don't know, whatever reason.
A splash is worth 2p. That's what it is. That's just the economics of a splash. So they've got on ahead down there because there's a ladder and a mighty scaling wall to go over, and I don't want to get cut off and find I can't get over the big concrete scaling lump that I'm going to have to get over up there. So I'm going to go back up the stairs and I'm going to meet them down the end there in about 45 minutes. Christmas slugs. So Simon and Nicola are preparing to climb up a ladder near here, which I thought would be a big ask for me. But I can do some mudlarking from up here. Can you see it? That's a mighty big horseshoe. Would you have thought that would be on an elephant? An elephant shoe! Yay!
Okay, so Nick's just found a rather large find. What you found, Nick?
I found a boat.
Oh, the remote.
Standing in this boat here, though,
yeah.
It's all exposed. You see all the old nails there, little rivets and the old nails. So it's
beautiful.
Gradually being eroded out.
This would have been the stern.
I think so.
Yeah, this is like it could be the back of the boat anyway.
Yeah.
This, I think it's the stern or the whatever. But yeah, look, you can just see it in all its former glory. And that's what the erosion does. It brings up things to life that we've never seen before. Well, I've just had an interesting piece of copper come up. And I was cleaning this side, I thought this would be the interesting side, but I'm trying to work out what it is. And I turned it over, and it looks like it might be the top of a monument. With 1938, maybe? I don't know if that is a date, it looks like a backward R. Let me go and show Nick and see what she thinks. No, it's like a kind of, I think it's a souvenir or something. What? Obviously it's bent, so you have to straighten it up. But it looks like it's a monument.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very interesting. What is that? Did you get it with your detector?
I did.
So, how interesting.
Is that a date at the top? It looks like it's got like a one.
It looks like 1932 or something. Should we
yeah, give it a little wash.
give it a little wash? Let's go and give it a rinse off. It looks like read that.
It looks like a monument though, doesn't it?
Yes, it does look like a monument.
With a balloon or something on the top. How bizarre. Oh, I'll tell you what it might be. It could be a printing block.
Oh. Oh yes, you're right, it could be.
And that's backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
So that'll be, I don't know what it says backwards, RE...
I don't know.
RE51? I don't know.
Well, you're certainly having all the great finds today, aren't you?
Of course, I'm Santa, I've got all the gifts.
How interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting to find out what that is.
Oh, so Nick, could you take that for me and research that for me, please?
What, this as well? I'll just be your researcher.
Yeah, that'll do. I'll find it, you look it up.
So Si's got a coin. He doesn't know what it is yet, but he's got one. And it's a 2p! Probably not. Hopefully not anyway. Probably is, but hopefully not.
Little beachy area here. I've just got a signal and it is a coin. So, should we go and see what it is? And give it a wipe. I was going to go down to the water's edge, but I might just clean it here just because it's quicker. Give a little rub there, nothing too vicious, just to get the sand off. And it is a Victoria young head or bun head, so this would be a penny. And I can't quite read a date on that, but oh, there we go. There's the it's Britannia, and it looks to me like it says 1874. There we go. That'll clean up nicely.
Okay, Simon, what is it? Yay! Bun head or old bust? Young head. Nice one.
So I just had up this little, looks like a watch winder or a clock winder. Clock winder, not a watch, far too big. So, but it looks like it's got some interesting pattern on it. So I give it a little swirl. See how it comes up. Oh, isn't that delightful? Yeah, lovely little clock winder, liking that.
Simon's clock to clock. It's about time!
And here's one of the oyster shells with the hole in that Clem, Si and I were discussing earlier. the mystery of the hole in the oyster shell. Do you have any ideas? If so, please let us know.
So I've had to leave my fellow intrepid mudlarks.
Well, as we are near a Victorian dump, we find plenty of these pots, all broken sadly, but there's also that little bone-handled knife. Broken, unfortunately, but sweet little thing. Would have graced someone's dinner table at some time in its life. Here's a rather large knife. Might have had a bone or antler handle on both sides. Long gone. Still got the brass ring round it. Being one hell of a knife though.
They've got at least an hour, maybe 2 or more mudlarking, and I can't stick around. I've got to go back to work. But anyway, I might catch up with them later. If I don't, you'll be seeing what they found anyway on my video, because we're going to be swapping our footage, and I'm sure they're going to find some great stuff. Thanks very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, because that way you get to find out my new adventures, which come and go quite regularly. Otherwise you'll never find out about them, you'll miss them, and you'll be sad, and so will I. So please subscribe and like, but particularly subscribe and ring that bell next to it. Please, please, please. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, so what have you found then, Si? Apart from your amazing, amazing find? Yeah, or yeah, generally.
Oh, do you know what? I sort of forgot. A few coins. I found a little present for you as well, if you want it. Don't get excited, but actually 2. I've got 2 little presents for you if you want.
Oh, thank you.
I won't be offended if you say no.
Okay.
First, there's a nice little bit of like sort of pottery for the fish.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can put that towards your fish.
Oh, that's very pretty, thank you.
You're welcome. And just a lovely piece of iridescent glass, just because it has so much beautiful, iridescent rainbow to it. I didn't know whether that would.
Oh, how
see
lovely!
That?
What more could a girl want?
So feel free
for
to
Christmas.
Keep them or bin them or whatever. But I just thought, well.
Thank you very much. I'm very easy to please. Thank you. No, there is a bit of iridescence in that, isn't there?
Right, so what have I found?
Very pretty.
This weird dial thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The numbers on the top. Might just be for a cooker. Well, it could be something more interesting, but I thought I'd take it because, if someone recognises it, it's got some holes around the top.
Yes. Okay.
Cool if it was something off a Spitfire or something like that, but or a plane dial or something, or it might just be off of a, an old 1930s cooker. Like because you would have gone or a safe or something. I don't know, but yeah. So that's that. Bone knife handle.
Oh, bone knife handle.
I've got some other coins and stuff down here at the bottom of my bag.
Oh, okay, I'll have a look at those.
And a few spoons.
Oh, spoons. Always good to find spoons.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 coins.
Oh, very nice.
But I'll get it all out later, and we can have a little roundup of all the stuff we found. So,
brilliant.
Yeah, so far so good. That doesn't beat the earlier find yet, but it's still fun trying.
Yeah.
And everything you find is always interesting. This one actually is from Cafe Royale. You ever heard of those?
Oh yeah, Cafe Royale. Yeah, that's a big club, isn't it?
I don't know.
In London.
Not sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found 2 exactly the same Cafe Royale teaspoons. Oh, a bit of shrapnel.
Oh yes.
Timer. That's got some numbers on there, so we find quite a lot of shrapnel down here, but it was quite cool to keep. Why not get it all out now? That's the button. Okay. Bit of lead. Don't really want that. Spring. That's the battery. I'm going to try a bit of electrolysis with that. That's just the top of something.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to start making some little robots, I've decided.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like out of nails and bolts and metal, various bits of metal and stuff.
Well, the idea is to, you get the pallets.
Yeah.
Well, the blocks that come in between the pallets, I thought would be quite a good basis to have a robot around it. And my vision is to tack on pieces of copper, so it looks kind of, like quite rustic, almost like Wall-E, like that kind of, that sort of robot, and sort of make some things out of all the bits of brass and copper, shine them up, not like, a little bit, but keeping it a bit rustic. And but when I'll have time to do that, I don't know, but I'll pick up these things because, like the spring, for example, could be like part of a little arm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
things
yes.
like that. So maybe one day I'll start doing some robot type things. But there's a few. There's a coin there. That one is I think that's George V penny.
Okay. Great stuff.
That's part of a bone comb, I think. Another penny there. Well, that's the watch winder.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's a nice one. Excellent. Well, we can stay for a bit more and catch a bit more of the foreshore before the tide comes in.
Yeah, we've got to keep going until we get, you know, till we're right up to our knees in muck.
Brill.
So there's musket ball there, another few coins and bits and bobs. So
Well, you're doing all right, aren't you?
yeah, we've got a nice bulging sack of finds for Christmas.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.